G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. I'm coming. G'day, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza, and I am back from my paternity leave, and pretty proud of the fact that I still had 3 videos a week coming out to you guys. I worked really hard before I took my paternity leave, so you guys would keep getting content. Unfortunately, that meant I was, pretty exhausted, and then now that I have an infant and a toddler, I'm even more exhausted. Do you like my robe, by the way? It says groom. My wife gave it to me when we first got married, because when you first get married, you can be a groom, but also as your marriage goes on, and if you have kids, it's also the thing you have less time to do. Groom yourself. I've also just cut to the chase. Brewing coffee or buying coffee is a waste of time now. I've just resorted to just eating raw coffee beans. It takes less time, it's far less expensive, and you just get straight to the caffeine. It's fantastic. Give me that sweet, sweet energy. Now, as exhausted as I may be, and as fantastic as I might look, I'm so just over the moon. It's been amazing to have a couple of weeks away to spend time with my new baby daughter. If you want to see the vlog where I shared where she was born and we took her home and spent time with her, I'll link to that in the card and in the description. And the fact that I've been able to have time off but still have prepared content for you guys that you guys have seemed to really enjoy is just really cool. But now that we're sort of getting back to the grind, I thought I would take it easy and sort of recalibrate a bit and visit something that has been a part of my channel and my artistic identity for as long as I can remember, and that is narcissism. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about my avatar. Now, a lot of you who have watched the channel in the last year or so will know that I use this character everywhere to sort of represent me. He's sort of like his own thing. I don't think of him as me, but I do. It's weird. It's an avatar. It's me, but he's not me. He's like a little character. Sort of like The Odd Ones Out has his little marshmallow dude. It's not us, but it's us. Anyways, but the avatar you guys have been familiar with in the last, I'd say 3 years, hasn't changed. But what a lot of you may not know is the versions of him that came before. And I thought it would be fun to take a deep dive at the furthest reaches of the versions of myself that I've drawn as an artist from when I was very young. And then also, if you stay tuned to the end, maybe we'll have a bit of a discussion as to where the future of the Jazza avatar will be. Maybe even get your guys' thoughts and suggestions or illustrated depictions. And if you want to participate in a little competition-y fun, like user submitted thing, stay tuned to the end of the video and use the hashtag and we'll have some fun with your depictions of my avatar. But let's get to the meat of it in today's video. Starting off with 7 gold. This was my classroom, my high school classroom in year 7. And this is the first illustration I have access to that I drew of myself, because I drew a picture of all of my classmates and stereotyped them aggressively. That was really unkind of me. Oh, look at this. Oh, Jessica. Oh, poor Jessica can't go to the library. Pff, what a nerd. No, I'm just kidding. Jessica was cool. And off in the corner we have, oh, look at this, it's Josiah, with a bit of a noodly head and a middle part, because I had a middle part in 2001. I'd rather not show photos, let's stick to illustrations. This is the earliest standalone image I have of a version of myself that I drew, and it's a picture called Me on Holiday, drawn in 2001, so I was 11 or 12 years old, and it's not that dissimilar from the avatar you guys have come to know and love. Now, around this era, there was also this illustration of a character called Derek Fastings, and while he isn't explicitly a Jazza or Josiah avatar or character, he was pretty much the version of me I wanted to be. I knew I wasn't cool, so I drew what I thought was cool and imagined myself as him. So this is Derek Fastings. Using this Derek Fastings character, I created a world of characters and made some comic strips that were incredibly just not funny, but I tried. Hey Derek, look at what Nat wrote on her book. I love Derek, I love Derek. That's what I wrote on my own book, says Derek, the narcissist. And then aside from that, in this era, this is the only other illustration I could find that was supposed to represent me. As you can see by this point, I had cool spiky hair. I was creating digital art on Newgrounds, hence the I Heart Newgrounds. And while we're looking back on my Facebook page, aside from a treasure trove of cringe, if you skip past all that, there are also some images I uploaded that were representative of me at the time, apparently. June 2010. So this is by the time I was 7, 8, 19. How old am I now? 29, and it's 2018. Therefore, mathematically, I'm just bringing up a calculator. 2018 minus 2010 equals 8. What? That doesn't make any sense. I give up. You do the maths. Anyway, older illustrations of me. This was the closest thing to an avatar that I had that I used to represent myself. And as you can see, I also liked to pout a lot. Oh my god. Wow. Look at that chin beard. Look at that wedding ring on your non-wedding ring hand. Your gold wrist chain. Oh, this is fantastic. I am not going to look through any more of these because that's slightly embarrassing. Oh, good lord. The hell is happening here? Anyways, I digress. It's time to move on to the more recent iterations of the JAZZA'S, as I might start calling him. This was the opening video for my channel, and each of these frames were just a little version of myself that I drew to sort of go with whatever explanations I had of what the channel was going to be. They were the first depictions of myself, and then that turned into the outro on the channel, which looked a little something like this. He sort of jumped down and he said, "Hey guys, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe and all that stuff, because I'm a YouTuber now." And as you can see by this point, for a number of years, I rocked the good old chin strap beard. I actually consciously made my avatar slightly chubby because at the time I was slightly chubby, but I also didn't want to be nice to myself, which is unfortunate because I think it's important to be nice to yourself, which leads me to the next version of my avatar, a version much closer to the version you guys will be familiar with by now, which is this old gem. Anyone who's watched a video from 4 or so years ago will recognize this dude. He's very close to the version of the avatar I have now, and just for funsies, this was actually a snapshot of the channel at the time. This is right when I hit 100,000 subscribers, and I think I redid the avatar to sort of fit a new version of branding to, I guess, change with the times because the YouTube layout changed. I thought, why not just change and go for a more cohesive character that didn't feel so scruffy, felt a little more appealing and cartoony, and that was the result. And I started to plaster him everywhere, which, as you guys know, was the beginning of the end. This version of the avatar was used in every outro and every intro, and started to occasionally be used in thumbnails and content, but not very much. But it was after I made a few tweaks, and specifically I can bring up the old channel banner, and I'm going to switch to the banner that existed after this one, and you might notice the tweaks yourself. You ready? Ding! There you go. You see the tweaks? You see them? See the tweaks? You might actually notice this version of the avatar that I painted on the mural still has the scruffy hair. I didn't do the facial, like the 5 o'clock shadow thing, because it was too hard to paint. I wanted to do it, but I couldn't be bothered. It seemed too complicated, so I just left it like that. But there you go. That's it. It's actually the older, new version of the avatar. So basically, I sort of polished up the image a bit, cleaned up the silhouette, and I kept the facial hair initially, and I animated this epic intro, which is almost identical to the one in current videos, except that it has this weird outside sort of vignette effect, which makes it look a bit darker and muddier, which I got rid of later, and he has facial hair, which led to eventually the final tweak, the final version of the JAZZA avatar as you see him now, as you saw in the intro. No facial hair, no vignette on the intro, and this of course is the version of the JAZZA avatar you guys would be familiar with. Now, as far as, I guess you could say, overusing the avatar goes, which I definitely shamelessly do, I actually made my book, Draw with JAZZA Creating Characters. You can see he's there in the corner, and I thought it would be fun to include the JAZZA avatar throughout the book, giving little instructions or sort of being a visual quirk to demonstrate the points that I was talking about. So as a result, I actually have all of these little avatar characters that I drew individually for my book that I just had, and I started using them in thumbnails more and more to the point where they start to just become synonymous with my video thumbnails. Now obviously there's a point where now most of my video thumbnails have the JAZZA avatar in one form or another, and it's turned out to be a really cool thing because it really clearly identifies my content, adds a really fun quirky edge to it, and I don't know, it's a little unique, it's fun, it's simple. But as a result of using him a lot in video thumbnails, I think I started to use him in content. So before we move on to chatting about the future of the channel avatar and how I'm going to adapt as I grow older, I thought it would be fun to take a look at all the different instances in which I've used the Jazza avatar in content on this channel. One of the first and I would say more memorable ways was when I did my 3D pen version of the Jazza avatar with a dragon character that took like 3 or 4 days to do and is still to this day, as of recording this video, the most viewed video on this channel. This is the Drawception video where I overtook Drawception with my Jazza avatar and you guys helped out, and I don't think Drawception's ever been the same again. I think the Jazza avatar still lives on Drawception, and I am sincerely still sorry to everyone who used to enjoy that community. This is me stamping the Jazza avatar face in kids pics. I'll admit I got a bit carried away with this one. I used him in the teeny weeny challenge, drawing a picture half the size of every picture until we got to teeny weeny ones. By the way, if you want to watch any of these videos, I might as well just link to them in the description, so if any of them make you curious, go check them out. This was a collab I did with Anne from How to Cook That, where I pancaked my face. Uh-oh, it's sticking to my thing. I'm just gonna go for this. Oh my goodness! Oh yeah! I drew a version of the Jazza avatar out of the word Jazza in my Making Pictures from Words video. The avatar was the first thing I ever sculpted in ZBrush, which looks horrendous, but I was pretty proud of it. It was also one of my first polymer clay experiments. A VR Jazza, an obnoxious normal Jazza, and French Jazza. We have the version of the avatar I drew using 3 million dots to commemorate passing 3 million subscribers. That actually turned out to be one of my favorite artworks I've done on the channel, and it's actually, for those of you who didn't see the update in the vlog, something I got framed because I'm really proud of how it represents our community. Very recently, I corrupted some coloring books and replaced some Frozen characters with the Jazza avatar and Mrs. Jazza, and probably the most obnoxious, consistent appearance of the avatar was in the Passbar 2 playthrough, where it was the first picture I drew, and in the game I named the piece Obnoxious but Consistent, which sort of turned into a bit of a channel mantra, weirdly. I repeated that phrase throughout that playthrough, and the next playthrough, when the developers actually created the Jazza avatar in the game itself as French Jazza, which people could actually play the game using, that took that obnoxious consistency to a whole new level, all the way up to when I took those raw assets and created a virtual reality animation using the French Jazza avatar. So they are just a whole bunch of ridiculous examples as to how my silly little avatar has overtaken this channel and will continue to be a little obnoxious. He's not going anywhere anytime soon, but I'm not getting any younger. I'm turning 30 next year. I've had my second child. Change is inevitable. And as the evolution of the Jazza avatar has come a very long way and changed and been a big part of the channel and its identity, I genuinely don't know what the future holds as far as its relevance or use on the channel. I guess what I'm saying is I don't realistically see myself as being 40 years old and using this as a depiction of myself or my avatar. So this is where I'm going to pass the question off to you guys. I'm going to put a poll in the video to get your immediate thoughts, but I'm also going to get you guys to submit artwork depictions of what the future Jazza avatar might be. And I'm going to go through those entries and share them with the rest of the audience in a future video. So use the hashtag Jazza of Tomorrow. It's on the screen, you can see it there, and tweet me your illustrations and we'll explore those together in the future. I can't wait to see what wacky stuff you guys submit. It could be a serious approach and something you think might actually be the future of the Jazza avatar. It might be a bit of a roast or a little poke at me growing older. I'm just interested in what comes to mind and how you use your creativity, and I look forward to sharing that with the rest of the community. So go have fun with that. Go vote on the poll. I know this video was a bit of a just talking about myself split, but it was also a bit of fun, and it's fun to take time to reflect on previous periods of your life as you sort of move through more periods. And I am in a different place in my life than I was when I started this channel. I am a married man with 2 children. I'm turning 30 and I'm beginning to fear death more and more every day. Before we end, I will finish off by sharing with you the collection that I've built of my outro. So those of you who've watched any videos will know that I have this outro at the end of my videos, which I have in time adapted to a whole bunch of different things. I have made different versions of the outro and the Jazza avatar in the outro for a lot of different videos. So I thought in this video, it would be fun to just sort of finish off by literally going through all of the ones that I've built up so far. So enjoy the outro with literally every outro with the current Jazza avatar that I've ever made. See you later. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And while you're at it, check out my shop where I sell ebooks, brushes, photo references, video courses, and more. There's another video you might enjoy from my channel over there, and you can also check out my behind the scenes daily vlog channel, Daily Jazza. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.